Hello, welcome to my channel, Crafty Fox DIYs. In this video, I have 3 fun and easy fall DIYs for you. Okay, let's get into it. So for my first project, I have this vase. It's a beautiful fall yellow color. And then I have these various florals and some raffia here. And I've taken the raffia and tied a big string of it together so that they won't come apart. And then I have these foxes that I got from Dollar Tree, and I dressed one up like a girl and I left the other one the way it was in the store. For her, I added a ribbon around her waist so that it would look like she had a skirt on, and I took the buttons that were on the overalls part and put those on her shoes. Now I'm just taking the raffia and putting it down into the bowl vase just to add some filler. And then I have this candle wreath, and I'm going to splay it out so that way some of the pumpkins and leaves will go down over the sides of the bowl, and then they'll be able to be seen. And I'm also going to add in some greenery. These are just some fern stems, and I thought that this would just help add some other color to the vase, make it nice and pretty. And then I'm just taking some stems and I pulled the flowers apart so that way they will be sprawled out all over the bowl vase. And I've done the same thing with these white flowers. And then I'm going to pop in a couple of these big sunflowers for a nice bright pop of color. And then I'm going to put my foxes down in the center. I'm just going to adjust them so that way I have them sitting in there just the way that I like. I put the girl just a little more in front of the boy fox. I also made a little bow with some ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree that has foxes on it, and put that on her head and made a belt for her. So there, that one is all finished. Okay, now for the second project, I have this Happy Fall Y'all sign. I got this at Dollar General last year at the end of the season, and then I have this scarecrow that I got from a yard sale, and then I have just a pumpkin I got from Dollar Tree. They were 4 for $1. And then some leaves, and I also had that little wood piece there, and I'll show you what that's for here in a minute. But my scarecrow, around his neck, the little part that he has there just kept, fluffing up and going over his face. So I'm taking some hot glue and I'm going to glue the shirt down just to make sure that it stays down and isn't pushing anything up. And then I'm also going to put some hot glue around the little neck part to make sure that it stays down also, because I want his cute little face to be seen. I don't want anything obstructing it. So then after I get that done, then I'm just going to kind of start testing things out. So I'm just setting my sign up, and this is how I'm going to have my scarecrow sitting on top of it. And as you can see there, that little wood piece, there was a piece of rope tied around his waist, and I'm going to use that to help hold him onto the sign. So I'm going to take a combination of wood glue and hot glue and take this little wood piece. This came off of an old table that somebody had left sitting outside, and it started falling apart. But there were some good pieces on there, and I saved as much of it as I could. And this is one of those pieces, and I'm just gluing that onto the back. I'm also going to use a piece of jute twine and my staple gun to help secure this onto the sign to make sure that it stays on. The glue is definitely going to hold it on there, but I just wanted this little added bit of security until that wood glue dried. I just wanted to make for sure it doesn't pop off, because I'm going to be moving this around, tying the scarecrow onto it and fixing the scarecrow to the sign and everything. Okay, so now that I've got that on there, now I cut the rope that was tied around the scarecrow's waist. I'm going to set him up on there, and then I'm going to tie that rope back around that piece of board that I put on the back of the sign. So that way it'll help hold him upright, because I don't want him to fall over, because even if I had like his legs secured down, he's still floppy, so his front would fall over, and this way he'll sit straight up. Now I'm just going to do his legs back across the top of the sign, and I'm going to use my staple gun. I'm just going to put a staple right through his material on his leg and onto the sign, and that will hold those legs right where I want them to go. Now I'm going to take these leaves. This is just a little leaf pick that was in a basket. I couldn't even tell you where the basket came from, but there was some leaves in there, and I've used those for several projects. And this just worked perfect to go right down in there, and I use hot glue to help secure the leaves out of the way so that you can still see what it says. I do fix it later. You can't hardly see the y'all right now, but I do fix it in the end. You'll be able to see it. And then I was going to put this pumpkin in his hands, but it did not work out and he kept falling forward. So I just completely forgot that idea. Okay, now for this last project I have, and this footage is dark, I'm so sorry. The other footage was fine because I added an extra light, but this one's dark. Anyway, this pumpkin came from Dollar Tree. I believe they still have these this year, but I got it last year. They were 2 for $1. So I'm just painting my pumpkin. This is, I can't remember what color this is. I'll have to put that down in the description box. But anyway, I just painted the pumpkin with it. I want to say it's burnt umber. No, raw sienna maybe. One of those two. Okay, yeah, burnt umber is the color of the stem. Raw sienna is the color of the pumpkin. I remember. And now I'm dry brushing on some pumpkin orange. And then on my Cricut, I cut out the words "Fall, Sweet Fall." And so then that's what I'm doing here is I weeded it. And now I'm using painter's tape to stick the letters onto my sign. Oh my goodness, I'm having a time here. Onto my pumpkin. So just use the painter's tape and to transfer it over instead of the transfer tape. I was having a time with the transfer tape pulling my paint back off. I have since got some polyacrylic and polyacrylic, and it has been working great for me, not removing the paint off. So if I had had it whenever I made this, I would have done that after I painted it and let it dry. I would have put the polyacrylic on, let it dry, and then added my letters, and I would have had, less trouble with that. Because I made 2 of these, and this is the second one. And I had the first one, though, I ripped up where the word sweet is, a big piece out of it. So I thought I'll use the painter's tape and see if that helps, and I didn't have any issues with it pulling the paint off. So now I'm going to add some embellishments. The raffia bow that is on there right now, that came on the pumpkin. And then I had a little silver leaf that came on a different pumpkin that I didn't put back on that pumpkin. But what I did, I took some Rust-Oleum gold paint and I painted the leaf gold because I thought the gold just looked better on this pumpkin, especially because the ribbon that I am making a bow out of right now had gold trim on it. And the ribbon was wide, so I just folded it in half whenever I made my bow. I made like the awareness ribbon, and then I took a piece of jute twine and tied it in the center, and then that just made my cute little simple bow. And then once I get that bow made, then I'm just going to glue everything on. I'm going to glue on a leaf. I also saved the leaf that came off the original pumpkin. It was like a maroon color, so it was perfect for the ribbon. And like I said, this footage is dark, so you can't really see the colors, but you will see those at the end, how it turns out. And now there's that gold leaf. And then, there we go. Okay, let's take one final look at all of these projects. Okay, that's all for this video. Let me know which one of these projects was your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.